Brighton boys, Squid,
Right.
dropping their first album, Bright Green Fields. We got this. This is a 5-piece group. We talked about Black Country New Road, talked about Black MIDI recently, and this punk, funk, sprout rock, whatever, however you want to really define it, sound continues here. Did it hit for you the same way it did with Black MIDI and Black Country?
That's a good question. And Black MIDI has an album coming up in a few weeks we'll be talking about. So make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/nostalgiapod, so you don't miss that review. And go back and watch the Black Country New Road review if you missed it. And yeah, I think that's a great place to start because I think about them very similarly to Black Country. Black MIDI, I think they sound a little different. They're like even more distorted and out there, right?
Yeah.
But Black Country New Road and Squid seem very similar to me. And from what I understand, they have very similar origins coming up in that scene around London and Brighton over in England. So we talked about this rock scene in general as it being very interesting, perhaps one of the most interesting scenes in rock there is right now, if you can even call rock having multiple scenes at this point, right? But yeah, it felt familiar to me. But because it's so out there and unique, it's still interesting. Even if it's like, the second half of an 8-minute song that's mainly instrumental. It's like, yeah, do I need to listen to that again? No. But I'm still interested to hear it. We talked about a band recently that's popular, but makes music that's not very interesting because it's super similar to a very famous legacy band, Red Van Fleet. Black Country New Road, Squid, Black MIDI. No, there's no touchdowns with them. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, I think there's like pieces, right? Like you can hear a little bit of bands like you can hear the Talking Head influence, I think, in terms of like some of the brass, some of the the horns, bringing in non-traditional drums. There's definitely like some bongos on here at times and things like that. So like I think there's like pieces that you can pull from. There's definitely like some metal influence. Funk obviously is here, but I think to blend it together the way that these bands do, this is exciting because this is something that feels very unique and just like happening, which is really exciting for rock. Like you mentioned, there's not a lot of new and exciting stuff. I do feel like, and I agree with what you said, Black MIDI, I think hits a little bit more consistently from their the album we reviewed 2 years ago now. But I think this was a little bit more up and down in terms of tempo and pace for me. There are some songs that I thought were on par, if not better, than some of the Black Country stuff, and then there were some songs I just wanted to skip through pretty quickly. And I think when they were at their best is when they were bringing the energy. Something like the second track, GSK. I thought that track totally ruled. There's a song shortly after called the Documentarian or something like that, the documentary, which I thought that song.
Documentary filmmaker, yeah.
Yes, I thought that song was a big snoozer. So, and then that was a more like chilled out, like shoegazy type song. So I think where I enjoy their music most right now is when they're just bringing that like raw energy. When it's a little bit more like, I don't know, toned back. I'm not as with it.
Yeah, totally. And I think it starts off with that kind of song, Resolution Square. You have like this really high tempo, inspired drumming, and then you have the lead singer just belting it out, and like tough to explain, but like the way I guess his vocal delivery is reminiscent of other bands, but it's so energetic and it really matches the instrumentation. It's really enjoyable. And those are definitely the songs I like the most. Those are the ones that felt most familiar to me after just recently listening to Black Country New Road. I think a song like Boy Racers. Boy Racers, I really love that first half, and then because these are weird dudes, they're like, hey, here's another 4 minutes of just kind of extended outro. It's like, okay, I guess that's cool. But like, even if I don't like care for moments, and I think there's plenty of snoozers or plenty of songs that are they're just kind of strange or odd, or they're just loud. Maybe not everything's like low tempo either. It's like they're just kind of loud. They're yelling, they're doing whatever there is, and it's like I'm not really getting into this either. but they're doing weird shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'll come back to. It's like I just respect them doing it. You know, going for it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think the weird shit like stands out the most to me on a track like the closing track, pamphlets, because the guy's like has this like screeching vocal. There's like I don't even know what instrument this is. I was trying to figure it out, where it's like like a squawking sound almost, kind of.
Yes, yeah, I wasn't sure either.
Yeah, but it just like really is unique and stands out on that, and it adds like this really fun vibe to the song. And it's 8 minutes, but that song totally grips me. Um, something like Peel Street feels a little bit more in the black MIDI type range, or even something like the track. Hold on, I just had it here. 2010, where it's just
Hmm.
like this like screaming raw energy coming from them. That it's a little bit more like punkish, I think. But I think there's a lot to like here. I also really liked narrator, Martha Sky Murphy's like whispering type vocals. I thought really added this like eeriness to like the tension of the song. So I was really impressed with this record for the most part. Again, not perfect record, but a lot to like. And yeah, I really want to keep digging into the scene, and we will with Black MIDI, because probably the most exciting thing we've had to talk about with rock in a really long time.